Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Russell Cage Experience right here on YouTube. And this is, once again, another video coming to you this week, another DVD review. And as time and the year progresses and as I continue to do this on and off, uh, I want to continue to do various sort of reviews, DVDs as I get them. Also going to be reviewing shows and whatnot, so just a lot of varying factors to be included here on the Russell Cage Experience. Most of them will be, of course, wrestling related, and try to keep it that way, but they may be also movie reviews and whatnot. But anyway, on to the task at hand. I have a page full of notes here, as you can tell. Page full of notes that I'm going to talk about in this video. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be reviewing the top 50 superstars of all times, WWE's newest, or not newest, but one of their newest DVD releases to be included in the past few months. So let's get right into it. The first thing I have on my list is we're going to go through the top 10 superstars as decided by the various superstars in the company, as well. No doubt Vince McMahon had a say in it as well, given the fact that he is the chairman of the company and owner and whatnot. So, yeah, he'll definitely have a say, and most definitely a final say, I would render to guess. But the top 10 superstars. Now, some of these were shocked that they were in the top 10, and I'll get to that as we go along in the next section of this review, which is a ranking, the rankings and whatnot, as well as matches that were included on the DVD, the 3-disc set. It is a 3-disc set, as I just said, so had a lot of watching to do. I finished disc 1 and the majority of disc 2 on the first day that I got this, and I finished up the rest the next day. So, which was actually yesterday that I finished it up. So, with that being said, the top 10 wrestlers, the top 10 WWE superstars, or top 10 superstars in general, as voted on by the current, well, some of the current WWE superstars and whatnot, people in the company. Number 10, Roddy Piper, of course. Roddy Piper doing the Piper's Pit, and of course various wrestling matches, and of course doing commentary, a little bit of commentary as well. Roddy Piper ranks at number 10. Definitely a great in my book. Roddy Piper definitely kind of set the standard, as mentioned in the DVD, for shows like The Barbershop and Heartbreak Hotel, which Shawn Michaels hosted, and even some of the more recent ones, such as the Highlight Reel and the VIP Lounge. Santino Marella's one-time show that he did. So definitely Piper was an innovator in that sort of talk show in a way, interviewing the various wrestlers, kind of helping progress storylines and whatnot as it goes. So number 10, Roddy Piper. Number 9, 619 Rey Mysterio, coming in at number 9. Rey Mysterio, another a great here in the DVD, of course, becoming, I guess in a way, one of the first cruiserweights that I know of to become a world heavyweight champion, since they got rid of the cruiserweights and the light heavyweight titles and whatnot. But one of the first ones that I know of, and the only one that I know of off the top of my head, that has won the World Heavyweight Championship. So Rey Mysterio ranking number 9. Of course, he's had great many matches, especially in the past couple of years. He had that feud with Chris Jericho, which I thought was a spectacular feud. It told a great story, and of course, they had great matches to go along with it. Number 8, Andre the Giant, the first kind of real giant that was well noticed all around the world, no matter where he is at. Always getting that recognition. Andre the Giant coming in at number 8. Of course, his famous match with Hulk Hogan for the WWE Championship, the then WWF Championship, and having great matches. Of course, WrestleMania 1, the Body Slam match with Big John Studd, included on the DVD, was a boxing match with Gorilla Monsoon. So a lot of various matches that Andre was part of, a lot of various, feuds that he took part in, especially with Hulk Hogan. So Andre the Giant coming in at number 8. Number 7, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Of course, Ricky Steamboat coming back, making an in-ring return, if you will, past, not this past year, but the year before that, if I'm not mistaken, 2009. I could be wrong on that. It might have been 2010. But anyway, regardless of the year, Ricky Steamboat showing that he still had it in the past year when he feuded with Chris Jericho, and once again, a great set of matches coming out of that feud with Chris Jericho. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat ranking at number 7, of course, his famous match with Macho Man Randy Savage for the Intercontinental Championship. Miss Elizabeth in Randy Savage's corner, George Animal Steel in Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's corner. Of course, he's feuded with many other greats that was listed on this DVD, such as Ric Flair, Harley Race. It just varies from all that. So, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat coming in at number 7. Number 6, Harley Race, just mentioned him, with his feud with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Of course, King Harley Race, as he was recalled or talked about in WWF, and won the, if I'm not mistaken, won the King of the Ring. That's the reason they call him King Harley Race. So Harley Race, of course, once again, having great feuds with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, with Ric Flair. Just various people that he's had feuds with in the past, and just another great in history. Of course, his match with Ric Flair, helping, kind of passing the torch in a way to Ric Flair winning his first World Heavyweight Championship out of 16. That could be argued, but with that being said, Harley Race coming in at number 6. Now the top 5, not so much a surprise that these are the top 5 participants included in this DVD. And starting with number 5, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Number 5 is The Rock, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, the People's Champ. Coming in at number 5, of course, having great feuds with Stone Cold Steve Austin, with The Undertaker, with Rikishi, with Kurt Angle. It varies. And, of course, becoming a kind of a bigger mainstream movie star now. The Rock, that is, of course, getting a start with the Scorpion King, or his role as a Scorpion King, I should say, and then moving on to movies like Walking Tall, and, of course, maybe some could be argued good choices, maybe not, but The Tooth Fairy and The Game Plan, which are Game Plan. I really enjoyed The Game Plan. Of course, his love for Elvis come out in that movie as well, but The Rock coming in at number 5. Not really shocked that he is in the top 5 greatest superstars of all times. Number 4, Bret the Hitman Hart. Of course, Bret Hart having one of his most memorable matches, in my opinion, against Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 12. Shawn Michaels, of course, winning the WWF Championship once again at that time as the WWF. And, of course, he's had other great feuds. He's had matches with Ric Flair. He's had matches with his brother Owen Hart. He's had matches with Stone Cold Steve Austin. It just varies. Of course, he's feuded with The Undertaker. And even before that, he's had great matches with Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, who's also in the DVD. And, just varying, tag team matches with Jim the Anvil Neidhart as the Hart Foundation. Of course, facing people like Demolition and the Legion of Doom and whatnot. So, Bret Hart coming in at number 4. Number 3, that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Stone Cold Steve Austin coming in at number 3 on this top 10 list of, or the top 10 50, or the top 10 of the top 50 superstars of all time. Of course, a revolutionary person. Of course, King of the Ring kind of helped jumpstart that attitude that he had. Stone Cold Steve Austin definitely one of the greatest superstars of all time, and certainly a trailblazer for the Attitude Era, along with The Rock. And of course, can't forget one of the famous First Blood matches that he had with Bret Hitman Hart, with Ken Shamrock as a special guest referee. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin coming in at number 3. Number 2 and number 1. Now, I'm going to say I'm not shocked that these two got number 1, especially after their past 2 WrestleMania matches. And of course, no doubt, you know who I'm talking about right now. The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Now, number 2 went to The Undertaker. And he's had probably the most storied career out of all these people in this list, and he's one of the few where his image and his persona has lasted through the years, and that can still be seen today with his matches here recently with Kane, kind of a throwback to the Attitude Era and his feud with his brother Kane more recently, and of course with the return of Paul Bearer here this past year. So The Undertaker comes in at number 2, and definitely I can agree with this quite a bit. And with that being said, number 1 goes to Shawn Michaels, and not once again no objections here in my mind that these 5 should have been in the top 5, especially in the top 10. Shawn Michaels, of course, one of my all-time favorites. Of course, Shawn Michaels, along with Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and Hulk Hogan to an extent. All those guys have I've grown up watching and enjoying their wrestling, and so it's no doubt in my mind that Shawn Michaels got number 1. He no doubt is the showstopper, the main event, the icon, which for you Sting fans you might want to make an argument at that point, but I don't know. But Shawn Michaels coming in at number 1, of course, like I said, his famous match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12, and of course having great feuds with Stone Cold Steve Austin, having the famous Cell match with The Undertaker, and feuding with greats like Mankind, of course being part of one of the great tag teams of the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, the Rockers with Marty Jannetty. So once again, another great storied career coming from Shawn Michaels getting number 1. So with that being said, this is part 1 of the video, just talking about the top 10 out of the top 50 and giving my thoughts and kind of their careers. And certainly each one of these people, I think they hold a place in some of the greatest wrestling history. But some of the rankings, minus the top 5, of course, in this top 10, I would probably have to make an argument of some being in it and some not being in it, which is what part 2 of this video is going to be about. The pros and cons of the rankings, of course, what some of the shockers were, and who was missed out in this top 50 superstars of all time DVD set. So, and probably in this part 3, if I do a part 3, I'll be discussing some of the matches that were included in the DVD. So, with that being said, this is part 1. Flip on over to part 2, and I hope you are enjoying this review of the top 50